Hip-hop's greatest entertainer and certified man-child, Drizzle Pie, is giving euphoria vibes, fighting for his 69 life in his pre-written poem, The Fighting Irish Freestyle, as the famous actor from Degrassi is now spiraling, dissing his ex-sibling, LeBron James, mocking his famous high school basketball team, the Fighting Irish. When the 69 God has Mr. James in his high school jersey tatted on his left arm like the bad bitch Drizzle is, the Champagne Karen wanted it all from LeBron, including his love, respect, and loyalty, and that as Drizzle Cake displays his emotions, feeling betrayed by his former brothers who fell in love with the gimmicks of the king of hip hop, Kendrick Lamar.
The world fell in love with the gimmicks, even my brothers got tickets.
Primarily focusing his new diss on LeBron James. And of course, Mr. Cakes has to still play the victim like his many victims from Disney Channel, allegedly.
What?
By essentially claiming that he was set up by magic tricks from the magician Kendrick Lamar.
This nigga pulled a rabbit out the hat and y'all love a magician.
Which ended up costing him the battle that made K-Dot officially #1 in hip-hop. Because the way that Drizzle Cake continues to make himself the laughingstock of the internet and the music industry is by going against the most important people that have helped him in his music career, like Lil Wayne and Abel, then going up against one artist that has already all over his 69 career, Kendrick Lamar. The reality is, Drizzle Pie's Fighting Irish Freestyle will forever leave a stain on his hip-hop career, where he'll never be able to see relevance as a rapper moving forward, thanks to the diss lines that he's dropping on certain artists outside of just Kendrick Lamar. Here is why Drizzle Pie's Fighting Irish disses mark the official end for his hip-hop career, calling out LeBron James. Drizzle Cake calling out LeBron James in a freestyle diss written by members of the OVO Sweatshop isn't too surprising these days, as Drizzle Pie continues to have trust issues in Marvin's room ever since he saw his basketball daddy pop out without the Lakers in Inglewood, but with Kendrick Lamar instead attending Drizzle Pie's funeral service with LeBron singing along to Not Like Us. But clearly it's understandable that Drake would feel somewhat emotional about his longtime friend LeBron James switching up on him after almost a decade of praising one another for their accomplishments in their own respective fields of music and basketball. Starting back to 2009 when Drizzle Pie dropped one of his best songs, ironically alongside Kanye West, Lil Wayne, and Eminem with his track Forever, the third single for LeBron's More Than a Game documentary soundtrack.
Started off local, but thanks to all the haters, I know G4 pilots on a first name basis.
Making the entire video a homage piece to LeBron's come up as a high school phenomenon, who ended up taking the NBA by storm, climbing his way to the top with plans to stay there forever. And clearly Drizzle Cake was onto something with LeBron, still being one of the most dominant players in basketball at the age of 40, so I can see why Drizzle Pie aligned himself with a basketball player like LeBron James, where Drizzle Pie always felt that he was the greatest in hip-hop, right next to the greatest NBA player, LeBron James. It seemed like the everlasting friendship of Drizzle Pie and LeBron would never stop, until Drizzle Cake lost his #1 spot, initially by the official dog catcher of hip-hop, Pusha T, in 2018, after the Duppy Puppy got called out on the story of Adidon revealing Drizzle Pie's cosplaying ways in hip-hop by revealing his blackface paying homage to a Jim Crow figure, more alleged ghostwriting allegations from the 69 Gods catalog, but more importantly, the revelation of Drizzle Cake not being a man about it like Tony Braxton, not taking care of his own seed, Adonis, or claiming him by the very beginning of his life, especially when you go back to Drizzle Pie's More Life playlist, where he hints at getting a woman pregnant.
I gotta waiting at my place. I got no baby on the way.
But claiming it's not his. And this is where I start to feel that the love, respect, and admiration that LeBron James had for Drizzle Cake started to fade, as LeBron started to realize around this time, most likely, that Mr. Cakes would forever be a boy like Peter Pan, stuck in Never Ever Land, not taking responsibility of raising his own son and being an actual man. Because even if LeBron told his 69 fan on his barbershop show months after the Pusha T battle that Drizzle Cake still made him proud.
Yeah, what'd I tell you?
You said that I can never let you down.
I said, listen.
I'm so proud of you. Everything's adding up. That's why you're bad as fuck and you know you are.
You could clearly see the disdain in LeBron's face when Drizzle Cake was playing No Face, getting choked up to claim he responded to Pusha T.
As a hip-hop historian who loves hip-hop, I would love for you to respond.
I did, by the way. I
You're the greatest.
By the way, I did,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
And I said terrible things.
Yeah.
Knowing damn well he never had a freestyle, but more a Jay Prince and Mob Ties cosign that saved him from the end of his career in the industry back in 2018.
It is what it is.
Even if LeBron James forgets hip hop lines anytime he goes on IG Live, LeBron James is still considered a hip hop historian who really loves the genre and the culture of hip hop, and probably never looked at Drizzle Cake the same way after his battle with Pusha T back in 2018, even if their friendship was still intact when it came to the love and admiration and respect that LeBron had for Drizzle Cake, mainly came from his ability to be an MC that LeBron at one point had respected. I don't think that this is the main reason why LeBron stepped away from their friendship, as I feel the personal antics and the pre-action is the real cause of the demise for the friendship of LeBron James and Drizzle Pie. You now have Drizzle Cake calling out Mr. James for ruining their friendship after giving each other expensive watches, promising each other on phone calls from years ago that they will always be brothers.
Remember we traded watches, I gave you the Arabic dial, you gave me a numbered edition. You would even check up on my son like a pediatrician.
What?
Is completely ridiculous for a man who is nearly 40. Mind you, LeBron James is 40, Drizzle Cake is 38, so yeah, I guess he's younger. But as you can see, for a man like LeBron James who has an actual family at home, a family that he's built, I'm sure Savannah and LeBron have something that Drizzle Pie will never have, which probably explains why Drizzle Cake doesn't understand why LeBron has separated himself from Drizzle Cake over the years, because if you act like the certified man-child for so long, that age ain't nothing but a number scenario kind of dies out. And now Drizzle Pie alluding to humble beginnings with LeBron James as if he has some dirt to spill.
6 degrees, my memories retrieving our humble beginnings. Niggas wanted trouble, grabbed a shovel and dug us some ditches.
That would ruin his family dynamic with his 2 sons and daughters and beautiful wife Savannah James. It's clear LeBron made the right decision separating himself from Drizzle Cake over the years. So again, I don't think LeBron cut his brothership with Drizzle Cake based off the hip hop battle. That's all on Drizzle Pie being sensitive in his pajama clothes. But before Drizzle Pie knew, before this hip hop battle took place, LeBron had it in his mind to keep the family safe.
But that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Throwing shots at Lil Wayne and The Weeknd. When it comes to the shots thrown at Lil Wayne and The Weeknd on the Fighting Irish freestyle is where I start to realize that Jimmy Brooks is literally spiraling and potentially paranoid without 808s and Heartbreak.
You worry about the wrong things,
Leaving me shocked and appalled of how privileged Drizzle Cake has really been feeling for the last decade in his career, starting with the lines directed at Wayne, where he addresses the cold shoulders he gave to Wayne at the Hamptons party hosted by Michael Rubin.
Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons, it come with the distance.
Feeling betrayed by Wayne for not acknowledging him as if that's Wayne's obligation.
I was sadly mistaken, the loyalty wasn't a given. It's all good.
Knowing damn well Drizzle Pie would be nowhere in his hip-hop career, let alone his music career, without that massive cosign from 2009. Is Drizzle Pie that so far gone? Following up with the lines that they thought they would always be close like ovens in kitchens.
Figured we was always gonna be close like ovens and kitchens.
Thinking he would actually win over the fans of hip-hop again by coming for the rapper who literally gave a hip-hop career to Peter Pan Graham and Lil Wayne, an actual GOAT in the hip-hop game, who paved the way for Mr. Cakes to take his own #1 spot back in the early 2010s when he was gone until November, showing the ultimate loyalty to the artist that Wayne signed way back then, even when Drizzle Cake was showing no loyalty from the beginning by sleeping around with Wayne's girlfriend.
I don't recall that.
Drake's audacity to think that Lil Wayne still owes him any kind of loyalty just because he sold millions and millions of records for Young Money, Cash Money. Well, of course Wayne did that knowing he was going to make money off of you, but Wayne also mentored and guided you in the right way and you chose to go the wrong way and clearly started to act like a 69 thug cosplaying hip-hop for over a decade. So because you lost a hip-hop battle that you decided to get into as a hip-hop entertainer, thinking everybody was going to love you because the industry has been supporting you as #1 with the record sales that have been allegedly funded by UMG this whole time, now you're going to tell me that Lil Wayne owes you an apology or a hug or acknowledgement when he is literally your hip-hop daddy? How many daddies does Drizzle Pie have at this point? I don't know, but it's clear that this is one deranged OV-ho. It's definitely giving spoiled child brat syndrome, and Lil Wayne should really get on his parental role and spank Drizzle Pie and his BBL. That's just one artist that Drizzle Cake should have not addressed in the Fighting Irish freestyle, as he again attacks Toronto's greatest pop star for the last decade. With The Weeknd, the same artist that the OV-hos discovered and also fumbled in an incredible music business relationship with, due to the decade of emotional behavior from Drizzle Cake feeling that The Weeknd owed him for life, for giving him more life in the beginning of his career that would have been a successful one with or without Drizzle Cake's frosting on his discography, in my humble opinion. As it's clear when you go back to the 2011-2012 days of The Weeknd and Drizzle Cake's OVO XO affiliation, The Weeknd is a heavy influence and reason why we have that infamous Toronto sound that everybody claims that Drizzle Pie created. Definitely not Drizzle Pie, more OVO 40 on Drizzle Pie's team, mixed with The Weeknd's amazing creative contribution from the very beginning. Let's just focus on the recent times like last year when Drizzle Pie and the OV Hoes were alleged to shoot Cash XO's Los Angeles home, the manager of The Weeknd, in response to The Weeknd throwing shots at Drizzle Pie's shooters who make TikToks.
They shooters making TikToks, got us laughing in the Lambo.
With Miss Drizzy throwing some subliminal shots in the Fighting Irish, talking about crashing out with his brothers that are complicit in placing alleged pipe bombs inside of a trunk because it was an exhibit.
And we all crashing out together, my brother's complicit. Who put a pipe bomb in your trunk and was an exhibit?
I wonder what Homeland Security has to say about that.
And even though this is the toughest line from the Fighting Irish, I can no longer take Drizzle Pie serious when he still decides to act tough, when he should pipe down and continue with the melodies. Like I've stated in previous videos, with the tension between The Weeknd and Drizzle Cake more being on one side with Drizzle Pie, it doesn't make him look any better, not just with his hip-hop career in the States. Who cares about that? Drizzle Cake is from Toronto, the same place The Weeknd is from. And no matter the narrative that Drizzle Cake tries to play in all of our faces for the last decade, The Weeknd played a huge role in his R&B career that Drizzle Pie can never accept because he really feels that he is superior not just to Kendrick Lamar on a hip-hop level, but to an artist like The Weeknd on an R&B and pop level, because that's where Drizzle Pop really got his R&B sauce and tried to do the same playbook that The Weeknd ended up doing, becoming a mega pop star. But the big factor between The Weeknd and Kendrick Lamar that separates themselves from Drizzle Cake is the love and respect that they have in both genres, which is something that Drizzle Cake has been lacking from his own fan base and the people he's still trying to convince in those respective genres for the last decade. Losing love and respect in the States is one thing, but going back home to Toronto, making all these threats to the king of Toronto, The Weeknd, even if Drizzle Cake doesn't care about going against the industry and his daddy Lucien Grange, he gonna crash out. I don't think he really wants to crash out back home in Toronto, the only place where he's really loved and admired at this point, in my humble opinion. Proving Kendrick's points on Meet the Grams. Like Sabrina Carpenter, this segment will be short and sweet because ultimately what Drizzle Bean did with his Fighting Irish diss is make a full circle moment for Kendrick Lamar's Meet the Grams diss by first claiming Kendrick Lamar is full of shit, throwing out lies in Meet the Grams that Peter Pan Graham is an alcoholic, just to contradict himself with the following lines.
The Dennis James come out when the vodka is flooding my system. I don't have a drinking problem, I got a subtle addiction.
As if having a subtle addiction to a drinking addiction is still not a problem for a man who can't control his emotions. But don't worry, because Drizzle Cake made it clear.
I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission.
And let me chill for the last part of the third verse where Drizzle Pie continues to make things worse, making Kendrick Lamar's claims of Drizzle Cake having a daughter thrown on his own father, alleging that his own dad, Dennis Graham, is the real father to eternity, allegedly.
My dad has another child, I told him that wasn't my sister.
Which has to be the most disgusting act that Mr. Cakes can do, literally using his father's name to save himself in any chance he can, in which Kendrick Lamar made very clear to Dennis Graham on Meet the Grams.
Dennis, you gave birth to a master manipulator. I think you should ask for more paper and more paper and more paper.
For the bullshit Drizzle Stick has been putting on his father's name. With a freestyle like this from Drizzle Cake, Kendrick Lamar has to do no more when it comes to responding to the 69 God, because Drizzle Pop literally self-destructed just like Kendrick said he would on records like Euphoria, Meet the Grams, and we're literally just starting 2025. We're not even a full week in. And this is what Drizzle Pie wants to do? Literally making Euphoria and Meet the Grams that were buried back in 2024 come back alive in 2025, like Kendrick Lamar's feature on Take Care?
I jump right in and fall asleep. I fall asleep.
Just because Drizzle Cake can't take care of his own mental health after trying to destroy others' mental health in hip-hop and in a battle that he thought he had locked in, looks like the entire hip-hop industry is looking for revenge way past Summer 16. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for your patience with today's video. I really think this moving forward will be the end of Drizzle Pie being in hip hop. There is no way that he can continue to do the antics that he's doing. Suing for defamation, then you have your own issues with defaming potentially LeBron James in this record. Do you remember what you're suing for in your pre-action lawsuit, Drizzle Bean? Like, I really don't understand anybody who's defending this further, even if Drake is making potentially good music, and this sounds okay. This is not a memorable freestyle, especially when it sounds like a pre-written poetry piece. I really don't think that this is going to be the record that will save him in the beginning of 2025. Focus on your daddy, Lucian Grange. Get through that lawsuit. Wish you the best, I guess. But please leave hip hop alone, and please leave all of us alone. We're getting tired of your antics. But until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go be amazing and have an amazing rest of your day.